everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Jessica Laylah.
Your background?
What's that?
The background.
What?
The background.
You're gonna have to speak up if you want me to hear you. So yeah, I updated my background a little bit. What do you think? We got some orange yellow lights for where's the controller? We strung up some new lights, and the real reason I did this was because I was so freaking sick and tired of, I'm in bed at nighttime, you know, chilling, vibing out, and then I hear one falling off the wall, and it's going skirt skirt down the wall. Because the wall is a little bit sticky, they like scrape on their way down. Also, check it out, guys. Check it out. Yeah! We can do a nice little fading of colors. Ooh, it is Gucci. Since we're getting close to spooky month, let's do... Ooh, we could do a nice red. Let's stick with the orangey yellow lights. So anyways, resin. Sexy resin. Resin is an art medium that's used to make a lot of very cool and unique things. So this week, I decided to do a deep dive into resin by testing out a resin making kit that I got for a Christmas present last year. See ya! But before we get into all of that, let's start at the beginning. So several weeks ago, I headed out into this... Are these weeds? They kind of look like weed flowers, honestly. I picked some to dry out so I could cast them in resin, because I recently learned casting something that's fresh. Chicken nuggets, for instance. Chicken nuggets, for instance, will still age, and it will even begin to decay and mold inside the resin cast. Like, literally, who came up with this? Who thought this was gonna be a good idea? Who came up with this? So at the time of picking the flowers, I wasn't really sure what the kit did or did not come with, so I wanted just some stuff to experiment with. So grabbing my nearest children's Bible, of course, I'm using a Bible, okay, let me just get this out of the way. I'm using a Bible, first of all, because it's missing a ton of pages. It's a children's Bible. Children are just destructive by nature. The rice papery, thin pages don't have like this acidic coating on them, and so they just make for like a really nice way of drying out flowers. It feels just a little bit blasphemous. I lay them all out one by one, and then I close it up real nice with some rubber bands. I let those dry weeks and weeks ahead of time so I could grab them and use them whenever I was ready and whenever I needed them. But before casting any flowers in resin, let's start here. Yeah! There was a fortune in there. All your sorrows will vanish. It actually says that, I'm not lying, look. So I guess we should just open it and read through it and see how difficult this really is, because people say it's not that hard, but people lie a lot. Okay, things are being unplugged by themselves. Okay, so let's just open this kit up and see what we see and find what we find. Sir. Alright, no idea what that is. No idea what it does either. We've got some molds. So I think these are all like the powders you use to color the resin. Oh look, little tiny cups. And then... What are these? I think this is the actual resin. Okay, it is. Oh, sweet. Just from the reviews online, this shouldn't be too hard to work with. What is this? Maybe I should change my top. So I've got some stirry worries, some sticky witch. They didn't explain what these are, and of course some gloves, because can resin burn you, or is that something I just made up? So they didn't explain what this is, but I assume it's to protect your surface. Oh, what is happening? Look at this. Is it now? Am I not supposed to be doing this? They didn't establish what this is for and why it's folded in two. Am I supposed to be doing this? So let's just layer down, layer down, layer down. We're gonna put this in some hot water real quick. So they say that it should be warm to the touch. So they say warm to the touch is warm to the touch. So I wanted to just do like a basic thing with the flowers. Don't have enough time to decide what I'm doing. There's just not enough time. I might have to warm these up again. So that's A, that's B. So what I've seen people do is they do like a layer of resin first. Okay, these gloves are not working. They're making way too much noise. I don't know if these are warm enough. There's just too many instructions. I'm freaking out. And then you're gonna mix it for 4 to 6 minutes. 6 minutes? 6 minutes. That's B. Let's start with A. Hello? Hello? I just want to do a really little bit just to begin with. So that's A. Oh crap. Okay. You're even. I think it's even. And then you pour into a third container, stirring for 4 to 6 minutes. I'm gonna start with 5 minutes because that's a nice in between. Shaboom, shaboom la baba, and then shaboom, shaboom la baba na ba. Ah, this is stressful. I think that's as good as it's gonna get. So let's just start the timer, and I'll just be here stirring. Mix it, mix it, mix it, mix it. Okay, so here's the thing. I realized that the molds don't have matching ones, so you can only do one at a time. So I might just do, oh crap, I don't know. Do I want to add pigment? They're not real clear on the instructions. Is this a pigment stick? So after you mix it, they say to add pigment. Oh my gosh, there's way too many to choose from. I don't know anything. Maybe I'll just experiment with shapes to begin with. Oh crap, I'm nervous. Okay, we'll do, oh crap, I don't know. Okay, we're doing it, and it's scary, and I'm gonna screw up. I don't even know if I'm doing this right. Okay, so that one was overfilled a little bit. Break! I have all this resin. Spread, little resin, spread. Not you, you whore. I don't know what I'm doing. Maybe I could add pigment to the rest of this just to see what it's like. So they said less than 5%. I'm probably doing this wrong, and someone who actually knows what they're doing is gonna see this and start throwing up. I don't think there's enough resin for this. Like baking a cake, guys. It's just like baking a cake, but with more risk. But look at it, it's so pretty. Okay, we did it. We poured our resin. Just gonna delicately. Okay, so we're just gonna stop for now. We're just gonna take a break. We're just gonna let those dry overnight, and then we're gonna finish them up. We're probably gonna do another one tomorrow. I know there's a steep learning curve with things like these, and I will learn in time. So I will see you guys tomorrow when it is all dried, and then we'll see how I did, right? Yeah, probably not good. I'm just gonna, bye. See ya. Okay, so it's about a full 24 hours later. Can you hear someone showering in the background? My apologies. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna pop this one and this one out just to kind of get a feel for how well I did, because I really have no idea. I can definitely see some air bubbles in them, and then I'm gonna finally start testing out some of my ideas. I don't know how this works. So yeah, there's definitely air bubbles in there, as you can probably see. But you know what? I'm not completely unsatisfied. This was kind of just like a test subject just to see how they turned out. So again, these are test subjects, but I'm gonna save these two and probably paint them or use them as beads or something. You see? This one, again, was just another test subject. Why is it still... Look at this. It can bend.
Bendy. Yeah. Bendy. Yeah. Bendy.
So I've got my Bible here full of the Ooh. It's really shiny. I'm sorry. As you can see, they came out nice and dried. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I should have gotten like a container or something for these. I didn't even know. What? Since when? What? So first, I started out by laying down some clear glue, smushed the flower into it, and let it air dry for about 30 minutes. I was really firmly pressing it in because I'm really trying to avoid it floating to the top, which did actually happen with one of the other flowers. And I think the glue is dry, like no one's moving too much. Don't look at that. And then I decided to try something, and that clearly worked out really great. Yeah, this isn't working. So I did this process with a couple of flowers, trying to get a feel for air bubbles and glue and drying time, and how well the flowers will cast in resin. The only way for me to truly get comfortable with any art medium is to really experiment, and that often includes doing it wrong on purpose. So for this, I just mixed parts A and B together and did not use a third container. So please, excuse my complete and utter lack of knowledge, and probably me doing this extremely wrong. I then proceeded to cover this one with a clear coat of resin. I started to experiment with colors by this point because there's a lot of beautiful pigments that the kit provided, and as you can tell, I'm trying to do the resin wave thing, you know, the ocean wave thing. Upon realizing how bad of a failure this was, I just started to marble the resin. Remember like that nail art trend that most people couldn't do? It looked pretty awful on everyone and took like 4 hours to dry completely. Ooh, 12-year-old me. She was frustrated. I'm basically doing that here just to see how the pigments will mix and settle. It's also fun to see which colors really contrast each other and bring out the best in each other. Like when I was doing this, I wanted kind of like a stormy sky to contrast with the blue of the ocean. Go watch that video here. So some of my leftover resin I put into these molds was still a little soft. I feel like if I had pulled on it, it would have stretched out like taffy. Ooh, taffy would be good. Chocolate and cinnamon taffy, not together, but those are the two best flavors. It can take up to a full 72 hours for resin to cure. So popping this one out, I realized that you really should do the colored part first, glue it, and then cover it in a clear coat of resin. The opposite clearly does not work. And as for our marbled guy over here, it kind of all just mixed into like one weird color, but I wasn't really unhappy with the results because this is how I learned. So that same day, I decided to try another thing. For some reason, I just could not let go of this whole like ocean and wave resin art thing. Because it's like a fairly common beginner resin thing, and I just could not let it go, so I wanted to try it one last time before I just gave up on this, until I get better at resin. So I mixed up a good amount of resin, and added the color Ancient Bronze. Isn't that just a great name? Ancient Bronze. I also became a little bit obsessed with how to stop the air bubbles, but that's not real important. Especially when it's pigmented, I've noticed. One thing the kit makers recommended was using a heat gun, blow dryer, or straw to remove the air bubbles. I don't have either one of those things, so I opted for the straw. You can't really see it with the colored resin too well, but with clear it's very apparent. I don't know how high my blood pressure was, Mom. Where's my phone? They said it's like a self-degassing formula, but no, I guess it's not actually. So after our Ancient Bronze base dried for 4 hours, I decided to create the ocean part. This is a pretty simple process. A little bit of clear, mix in some of the wrong color and try to correct it with the red color and get the wrong color anyways, and just give up. And then I repeated that process 2 other times with a lighter blue and a darker blue. This part was lit. Like, it was actually really satisfying and even kind of fun. And I'm realizing now, I probably should have left a shoreline. But I didn't, and it's too late. But I added my 2 different colored blues and mixed with my straw to try and create waves and texture. I tried adding white waves with pigment, doing the whole method again, but that it doesn't work. I can't get it to work. What am I doing wrong? But hey, the mixing method worked at creating pretty cool colors. And of course, I cannot afford to waste a single drop of resin. I wish you could save it. Can you save it? Is that a thing? So after that dried overnight, I added waves using acrylic paint, and I absolutely hated them. It started out good, but what? But I erased the mistake and went in with a lighter hand, which is kind of hard with tremors, but I was a lot more satisfied with these waves. And then my camera decided to die. These never look right no matter what I do, so after that dried, I just cast it in clear resin and did my straw method again, and when I came back the next morning, I realized that didn't really work. What? What? Anyway, here's the finished thing. Yeah, I really like it. I don't hate it, but as far as things I've made goes, this would not be even in the top 10. Notice anything? So this right here is everything I made. So I think we made a lot of cool stuff, and I feel like I learned a lot just through making all these random things, and I've learned a lot of hard to learn lessons. I think we made a couple cool things, and going forward I feel like I'm gonna be a lot more confident in my resin abilities. Also, doesn't this look like a strawberry starburst? Like you could just bite into it and eat it? Okay, like you could bite into it and eat it? I think at the beginning of this I was definitely a lot more cocky about like, oh, it's gonna be easy, anyone can do it, but I feel like I have a lot more respect for the people who have built up entire businesses around resin, because so much can go wrong. Air bubbles, things floating, things not setting right, coloring, pigments not settling in the way that you wanted them to, your flowers looking like this. I feel like this would be really cool if not for all the air bubbles. But we had fun, and it was a journey. There's so much potential here, and there are so many things that you can make. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I really enjoyed making this video and editing it. I just enjoyed every... So thank you all so much for watching, especially if you made it this far, and hopefully I will see you all here next time.